There is one musician in town who is perhaps best known to those who don't get to hear music in a music hall or a nightclub. They're the folks Mother's Band plays for. Mother's Band. Barbara Harrison is going to tell us about that tonight.
That's right. Mother's Band has played hundreds of places around this area, and many of them are hospitals like St. Elizabeth's, prisons like Lorton. The mother who started Mother's Band is also a grandmother, is a lady named Betty Green, a lady who cares an awful lot about the community.
I'm the mother. I've got to own my kids.
She's a mother.
I don't have no fear.
She's a mother.
And here is my band.
She's a mother.
And we're here to jam.
Wow. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, about 11 years.
Everybody calls you Mother. Is that right?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids, but then I have something like a 14-piece band, and I call them my children, too.
Green's band is made up of musicians who take little or no money because they believe in Betty Green and her mission. That mission, to take the good time sounds of Mother's Band to people who might not have many opportunities to smile and clap their hands.
Some of them is mental retarded institutions, some of them are correctional institutions like Boys Village, Forest Haven, and places like that. And we do play for a lot of the nursing homes, and we enjoy it. I mean, those people, if you could see them in the wheelchairs, they'd be dancing in the wheelchairs.
Betty Green learned to play bass after her son got interested in the instrument. She says it was there in the basement, so she picked it up and tried it. So what was the first song you learned how to play?
Well, the first song I learned how to play was Honky Tonk.
Her idea to form a band and take the music on the road to those who are shut in or locked up came because of her own experience as a child.
When I was 4 years old, I remember when my parents, my father and mother separated, and my mother she lost her mind. She had to go to St. Elizabeth. And there was no foster homes at the time. So I was placed into one of the homes, you know, like receiving home, junior village, or what have you, till a foster home was available.
Betty Green says she knows what it's like to be in a place where no one seems to care. She says she prayed to God she'd grow up to have a different life.
But that's why I said God is wonderful, because he answered my prayer. I begged him that one day when I grow up, let me go back to those places and do something, just something. But I never dreamed it would be music.
She was terrific. Mother's Band has received some donations and grants over the last 11 years, but most of that money to keep the band going comes from Betty Green's own pocket.
All right, good for her. So proud of her.
That's our story for now. We leave you with music, pictures, and the names of the folks who do the work behind the scenes.
Have no fear, the mother's here. What? Have no fear, the mother's here. Come on, everybody. Have no fear, the mother's here. What? Have no fear, the mother's here.
I'm the mother. I've got all my kids. I'm the mother. I don't have no fear. I'm the mother. Here is my band. I'm the mother. And we're here to jam.
She's a mother.
I've got all my kids.
She's a mother.
Don't have no fear.
She's a mother.
Here is my band.
She's a mother.
And we're here to jam.
Party, party, party. I said north, east, south, west. Mother's Band show is the best. I said north, east, south, west. Mother's Band show is the best. I said north, east, south, west. Mother's Band show is the best. I said north, east, south, west. Mother's Band show is the best. I said the mother plays the bass, the daughter plays the horn, the sister can sing and do her thing. I said north, east, south, west. Mother Spanish Show is the best. I said wall to wall, T-top tall. Mother Spanish Show out on some more. I said wall to wall, T-top tall. Mother Spanish Show out on some more. I said get on down, y'all. What? I said get on down. I said get on down, y'all. What? Get on down. We're gonna give it to the mother now, give it to the mother now one time. Say what? Party. Get down with the mother on bass guitar. Members of MBS know that we're gonna put on a funky show. So grab your sweetheart and dance around, cause we got the sound to take you down. We got the mother who's pumping and thumping the bass. She plays so good till I rest my case. My mother's got a separate distinct groove, so get on the floor and make that move. Snap the whip and tip the hip, cause the mother's gonna give you something you never forget. I said give it to the mother now, give it to the mother now one time. Say what? Boogie down, y'all. Because you came to boogie down. Now isn't that right? That's right. Now we came to boogie down, y'all. Because she came to boogie down. We're gonna give it to the mother now, give it to the mother now one time.
These days, everyone down on our street southeast opens the windows because guess what? Betty Green is here, Mother herself. Mother's Band and Show. That's the name of the group, and they've been performing now, I guess, for the last few years, and lots of relatives and friends. Please welcome them now with a song that anybody who grew up in this town knows the title of. It's called We Got to Go Now, Y'all. Here's Mother's Band and Show.
She really has
it on up, we gonna pump it on up, we gonna pump it on up, y'all. We gonna pump it on up, we gonna pump it on up, we gonna pump it on up, y'all. We gonna pump it on up, we gonna pump it on up, we gonna pump it on up, y'all. We gonna pump it on up, we gonna pump it on up, we gonna pump it on up, y'all. We are Mother's Band Show. 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 Mother's Band Show. We are Mother's Band Show. Mother's Band Show. We are Mother's Band Show. We gonna get on out of here. Well, we gonna get on down. Got to say, get on out of here.
Yeah. All right. Come on over here, Betty. Let's take a look. What a great, isn't that great? Betty Green, who kind of created all of this. Nice to have you with us. Thank you
Pleased
very
to be
much to
here.
be here. And this is Willie Jolly. You kind of got together a while back, and Willie's a great singer in his own right. You got your own record out, right, Willie?
correct.
What's the name of it? Let's give it a
The
plug.
name of the record is Someone Else, and by a group called The Deuce on CBS Records.
And did you know that they were doing all this down on our street?
Yeah, for a few years. I just got a chance to go over and meet her, and it was so much fun.
Now, Betty, this is quite a story. You left your job, you got hurt on the job, you were, I guess, disabled for a while, and then you decided, I want to keep my family together, so what did you do?
I organized a band.
You bought a piano,
Bought a piano and a bass guitar, May of '77.
and you didn't know how to play guitar,
no,
right?
I didn't. But 6 months after that, I was playing my first engagement at a New Year's Eve party.
And now you got, how many daughters in the band?
I have 2 daughters in the band,
Any sons in the band?
1 son.
And your husband takes a videotape, right?
Yes,
he
he-
takes the tape of everybody,
husband
and then you
takes the tape.
criticize each other afterwards, right?
Yes.
But you're famous now at Lorton because you gave quite a concert out there.
Yes, I did, and I really enjoyed it.
And you're doing a lot of charitable work. You go for good causes, and yet you're
Yes.
out there doing commercial work as well.
Yes.
And you wrote that song?
I wrote that song, We Got to Go, Y'all.
How many times do you think you've said that in your life?
Oh, my God, so many times. My girls are so slow.
You have to say that.
We got to go, y'all, every morning.
Well, that's like a Washington expression.
Yes, it is.
So it all started out in Fairfax Village. Now, does everybody come around, open up their windows, come down and listen to you play and practice?
No, just a few of the neighborhood kids.
Right.
Yes.
Now, now you got 2 daughters and 1 son. Now, the rest of them are what? All from the area? All from the neighborhood?
No, they're not from, just one from the neighborhood, William Hackney on Timbales.
Okay.
He's from the neighborhood, but the rest of them,
Where's the drummer from?
Wheaton, Maryland.
All right.
Eddie Anderson.
Okay. We're going to pause and come back and have you do another song. Is that all right?
Yes.
All right. We'll be back in a moment with Mother's Band and Show. Isn't that a great name for a group? We'll be back after this. We want to remind you once again the National Alcoholism Test, 8 o'clock here on Channel 5. If you'd like to be part of the audience, call 244-5151. Ask for Panorama after the show today, and we'll be glad to take your reservations. We want to finish up now with Mother's Band and Show. Which song are you going to do, Betty? No, this time. You've Got My Love. It's another Washington expression. Ladies and gentlemen, Mother's Band and Show.
You've been away, but I could see you when you walked into the room. I knew I'd see you soon. I
anything that's possible to keep you here with me.
You have a love.
I'll always be right there, girl.
Oh, you're my dear.
Wanna show you that I care, girl. You know that you're my one and only. You're my best friend. Yes, you are, sweet darling. I guarantee that you won't be lonely. Never again. Baby, you got my love. No matter what you say, no matter what you do. No, 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 no. You got my love. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Always have my tender arms, girl. You got my love. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, girl, baby, baby. You got my love. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You always have. You got my love. I'll never be. You got my love.
So we were telling you a little bit about our next guest in the opening of the show. 11 years ago, she decided to form a band to keep her kids and their friends off the street. And frankly, they've been together ever since and have gone on to do great things together. She is not only the founder and the leader of the band, but she's one of the only bass guitar playing grandmothers now in the United States.
That we know of,
Yes. From Washington, D.C., here is the grandmother of soul, Miss Betty Green.
D.C., Maryland, Virginia, New York, and Detroit. It's time to turn loose a little lady. I'm talking about bass player Betty J. Green, other known as the Mother.
I'm the mother. I've got all my kids. The grandmother. Don't have no skin. I'm the mother. Here is my band, grandmother. And we here to jam.
She's the mother.
I've got all my kids.
Grandmother.
I don't have no skin.
She's the mother.
Here is my band.
She's the mother.
And we here to jam.
I say the mother plays a bass, the daughter plays a horn, sister can sing and do her thing. There's no other that's like the mother. Again, we're gonna give it to the mother now, give it to the mother now one time. Here we go.
Clap your hands, everybody. Everybody, just get on down. Because we're going across the nation and we're going across the world just to get funky.
She's bad, you know it. You know she's bad, she's bad, you know it. You know she's bad, she's bad, you know it. You know it. And the whole world there's an answer right now, 'cause I tell you once again, she's bad.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Betty. How you doing? Nice to see you.
I don't think you're bad. I think you're good.
Yeah, you're good, but that really means you're bad.
That's right.
Anyway, you brought three. Now, the band is 14 members, and we brought three along today, right?
Yes,
Betty,
I
why
did.
don't you introduce everybody to us?
Okay, Dave DiPaolo on sax.
Hi, Dave. Nice
Now,
to
he's
see you.
not your son, right, baby?
I have my daughter Vonnie on trumpet.
Daughter Vonnie. Hi, Vonnie.
I have Frank Campbell on guitar.
Hi, Frank. Nice to see you here. Now, Betty, the band has been together for 11 years.
11
so
years.
they were all together, all as kids, growing up together?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's a terrific idea.
Well, Washington, D.C., a tough problem down there with kids and drugs and things, right?
Yes, they do. And I thought if I organized the band 11 years ago, I could help to keep my kids off the street and the neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
And so what we did is got into the benefit circuit.
Doing good things for other
benefits.
people, yeah.
Yes. for 11 years.
Now, could you play the guitar before you started this band?
Well, I could as a child. I started off with Honky Tonk by Bill Doggett. I think I was about 10 years old.
Yeah. But then you got
never
back
the
into
bass.
it when you had that responsibility, right?
Yes,
with the
yes,
band.
I did.
And there are
Yes, I
rules in the band. No drugs,
did. No drugs, no alcohol. And they have to have a positive direction that they're going into in order to get in my band.
Well, sure, it changed everybody's life then, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's good. Now, tell us about yourself. You're a grandmother.
Yes, I am. I'm a grandmother. I have 4 grandkids, and I have 3 children of my own.
Now, you know that we're going to hear from every grandmother who plays the bass guitar in the United States.
I hope we do. I'd like
Because
to know
I
how many
almost
are
said they wrote here you're the only bass guitar playing grand.
I am.
You sure, Betty?
Yes, Ebony Jet Showcase checked it out before they came in.
And
Took
you're
it
the
home.
only one.
Grandmother bass player. Have no fear, Regis. The
Now,
mother's here.
has James Brown seen you?
No, he hasn't.
Has he heard about you?
I don't think so.
Oh, Betty. Well, he's going to hear about you now.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
He's not the only soul member around, you know what I mean? So tell us about your adventures. You have been honored by a lot of folks, including the president. Right?
President
Yes, I
Reagan?
have. Yes, I have. And we're down into congressional records, and we have resolution from the city council, and we have proclamations and citations from the mayor and the governor. So
That's
we
great.
have a lot
That's
of
a wonderful
awards.
thing to have.
Thank
Betty.
you.
Now, you're a foster child, right?
Yes, I am.
And
Yes,
your
I am.
foster mom raised what? How many kids?
About 40-some children she raised in my
Really?
time. Yes.
Isn't that wonderful? What is her name?
Mrs. Mary Brown.
Mrs. Mary Brown. Is she still around?
Yes,
still?
she is.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. You still have foster kids.
Isn't
Bless her
that
heart.
something? A woman dedicating her life to
Yes, she
raising
did.
these kids and giving them a break. And look how you turned out. Real good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Just
nice.
takes one person to love you a whole lot.
That's
I think.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you had your first child at 17.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Yes, I
and
did.
how old were you when your first grandchild was born?
Let's see, first grandchild, let's see. I'm 48 now, let's see. First grandchild, well, my oldest one is 11.
Your oldest grandchild is 11.
Yeah.
10 more years and you could be the great-great-grandmother of soul. We can't handle any more, Betty.
It's too much soul.
I know.
It sure is. Well, we want you to say hello to everybody down there in Washington for us. And we're proud to have you on the show. This is the first television show that...
No, it's not, but it's the first live one coming to New York. And that's what we were so excited about, you know.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
indeed. And I'm so happy and honored that you all had us here.
Are you kidding? It's our
Yes,
pleasure.
Lord. And I want to say hello to D.C.
Yeah, hello, D.C.
Yeah, hello to D.C. is right.
Hello. And I want to thank my husband for sponsoring us here.
Now, what about him? What instrument does he play?
Oh, he used to play timbales, but then it was a little bit too much for him, so he started driving the van and, you know, taking equipment
Oh,
and
that's
stuff.
right.
He's your roadie now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he's the manager of the band, so he sponsored us here.
That's
he
nice.
pays for the hotel and everything.
Oh, he did?
He sent us here, yes.
Well, thank him very, very much.
Ralph, I love you. Thank you so much. Praise the Lord.
That's great. Ralph, could you pick up my tab for lunch, too?
While you're at it, Ralph.
Yeah. All right, we got Chef Tell standing by, but we'd like to hear a little bit more from you guys, okay? So if you give us a little bit on the way out, we'd appreciate it. And good luck.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you. God bless.
All right, go get it.
In the mother's house, that's where we are. So party going on in the mother's house. I wanna meet you at the party that's going on in the mother's house. Want everybody to say party. Let's go in the mother's house. Now look here, y'all. They're on Friday night when the time is right and the band's on here to groove. We're working on the brand new jam so we can make your body move. Identify for lady with a bass guitar came waltzing down the stairs. She couldn't stop hopping on a happy beat with her hands up in the air. We told her jam, little lady, just get on it. Everybody say jam, little lady. You make the roof of the house come down. That's right, jam, little lady, just get on it. Everybody say jam, little lady. You make the roof of the house come down. There's a party that's going on in the mother's. I'm gonna meet you at the party. Good God, in the mother's. I wanna hear everybody at the party. We're gonna party on down in the mother's. Whenever this house you say party. Show enough. Take me to the beach now, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now our pleasure to present to you the grandmother of Go-Go, the one, the only, the mother!
To thank Mr. Stephen Young and the Mother's Band and Show for this beautiful plaque. I'm giving honor to God. I'm happy to be here. And I would like to thank Mr. Jeff Cruden and the Cable Metrovision for having us here celebrating our 11th year anniversary. I can never forget you for this. Thank you so much. And thank you, band, for this beautiful plaque. Thank you.
Go
to get this band together. She started over in Southeast Washington on R Street. And she thought of it as she sat in her basement and said, I need to put together this band so I can help somebody, bring a little sunshine to those who are in darkness. She started with a young man who was one of her neighbors. She said, I need to get this guy, but I know he's a musician. So she went to Mr. Steve Young and said, Steve, I want you to help me put this band together. And as she got Steve involved, she went to her daughter, Robin, and said, Robin, I want you to help me put this band together. And after that, she went and said, I need a drummer. So she went over to Wheaton, Maryland, and asked who was the best drummer around. And they came up with Mr. Ed Anderson. And she had a way of just touching the great musicians and bringing them in. Next, she went over to Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers. And she said, I need to get a great saxophone player. So she went and got the best in town. And she pulled him out, Mr. Lloyd Pinchback. Then she went to Parliament Funkadelic and said, I need a horn section to complement the great sax player. She brought first on trombone, the man who has traveled from one coast to another and is renowned throughout the country. On trombone, she brought Mr. Greg Boyer. And she went on a little deeper into Parliament Funkadelic and created the need for a great saxophone player. And brought Mr. Greg Thomas in. And went a little deeper in Parliament Funkadelic and said, I need a top on all this great horn section. And from Baltimore, she went and got Mr. Benny Collins. All right. Then she said, I need somebody to get on them keyboards. So first she went to Duke Ellington School of Music and said, who's the greatest keyboard player you got in this school? I need a young guy who's got a lot of energy, who's got a lot of vibration, who's got a lot of desire. So she went and found this young guy and got from the Duke Ellington School of Music, Mr. Michael Hill. Then she wanted someone who had some experience to go with the youth. She went and got a gentleman who plays keyboards, who plays guitar, who has a background in jazz and pop. She got Mr. Tan Sullivan. But yet it wasn't finished yet. It wasn't finished yet. Because any kind of go-go group, you got to have the groove. Got to have the groove. So she went and got the percussionist. Also, from Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers, she went and stole one of the best conga players in Washington, D.C., Mr. Leno Druitt. And then she said, I want another percussionist to complement him. So he got Mr. Jesse Kirkland. But yet, she still wasn't finished, because she wanted the funk. She wanted the funk, and she wanted to hit him hard. So she came over. She came over and she said, I just need a few more people. So she said, I need a guitar player who's gonna rock him and sock him and roll a little bit. So she got Mr. Calvin Moore. Then she said she needed a dynamic entertainer who could fill any mold, to play a little bit of guitar, a little bit of bass, a little bit of drum, a little bit of keyboard, a little bit of percussion, a little bit of singing. said, I want to do something special with this group of musicians. So she went deep into her own pocket, into her bank account, and she bought equipment for the group of musicians. And she bought suits for them to wear. And she got a van to take the equipment around. And then she said, I want to talk to the people who are in need. So we went to Lorton Reformatory. We went to D.C. General. We went to halfway houses, D.C. Village, Boys Village. We went around Washington to those who could not come to see us and started to provide a little sunshine where there was darkness. She said she wanted to give them a little bit of inspiration and motivation to let them know that somebody cares. Even when they're in the darkest cell, somebody cares. When they're in the hospital room, somebody cares. When they're in the reformatory, somebody cares. Little lady about 4'11". And she decided to call this band the Mother's Band and show her. Cause we all look at her as the mother. We might not all be biological children, but we still are children of the mother. And sometimes the neighbors get a little mad at us. And sometimes it gets a little tight because money gets short and we can't go around where we want to go, but we make a way. Cause if there's a will, there's a way. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I take this time to introduce to you, to celebrate her 11th anniversary of going around the city and being notarized in the city and in the country, on TV and in publications. The one, the only grandmother of Go-Go, Betty J. Green. Hey! Yeah, talking about the mother. Oh, talking about the mother. Talk about the mother. Hey, hey. Say M-O-T-H-E-R, a B-A-N-D. It's the Mother's Band. Hey, say M-O-T-H-E-R, a B-A-N-D. It's the Mother's Band. That's right. Don't make mistake about it. Everybody, M-O-T-H-E-R, a B-A-N-D. It's the Mother's Band. And we're funky. M-O-T-H-E-R, a B-A-N-D. We're the Mother's Band. That's right now. And we're funky.
Look out now. Now what we're gonna do right now is let the little lady come to you with the original, you repeat, an original song of hers, of her own. The song delivers a message. It says, have no fear.
Have no fear.
Because the mother's here.
Because the mother's here.
Say, have no fear.
Have no fear.
Because the mother's here.
Because the mother's here.
Say, have no fear.
Have no fear.
Because the mother's here.
Because the mother's here.
I say, have no fear.
Have no fear.
Because the mother's here. Go on, Robin. Tell them now.
Have no fear. The mother's here.
What? Say what?
What?
Say, have no fear. Because the mother's here.
Come on, everybody.
Have no fear. Because the mother's here. What? Have no fear. Because the mother's here.
I'm the mother. I've got all my kids. I'm the mother. Don't have no fear. I'm the mother. Here is my band. I'm the mother. And we're here to jam.
She's a mother.
I've got all my kids.
She's a mother.
Don't have no fear.
She's a mother.
Here is my band.
She's a mother.
And we're here to jam.
Everybody say M-O-T-H-E-R, a B-A-N-D. We're the mother's band. And we're show.
So grab your sweet
And dance around.
cause we got the sound
To take you to town.
We got the mother who's pumping
And pumping the bass.
She plays so good.
Till I rest my case.
The mother's in the separate
The steering groove.
So get on the floor and
Make that move.
snap the grip and
Tip your hip.
cause the mother's gonna give you something.
You never forget.
Say give it to the mother now.
Give it to the mother now one time. Get it up. So here we go. Oh, say clap your hands, everybody. Everybody just get on down. Because they're going across the nation and we're going across the world just to get funky. So go for it, girl. Good dog. Do it like a big man. All right now. Play that thing down. Do it like this now. Look here. Price tags, look, y'all, give me what you got. I like that groove. So I'm talking about now. Look here now. It's Friday night and the time is right because the band's on here to groove. We're working on some brand new jams so we can make your body move. And then a 5-foot lady with a bass guitar came waltzing down the stair. She couldn't stop bobbing on a happy beat with her hands up in the air. We told her, jam, little lady, just get on down. And I said, jam, little lady, don't let the roof of the house come down. That's right, jam, little lady, just get on down. Everybody say, jam, little lady, we made the roof of the house come down. There's a party that's going on in the mother's house. I'ma be there. There's that party. Good God, in the mother's house. And I can hear everybody say party. We're gonna party on down in the mother's house. Come on, everybody say party. Good God, in the mother's house. Please now, y'all, now stay out. You like that? Do it again now. One more time now. Dig this. Now the neighbors could not sleep last night. I'm sure that they were mad because the mother's boys make a lot of noise and the girls are just as bad. But when the lady plays her bass guitar, the whole neighborhood starts to shake out. She hits 10.9 on the Richter scale, and you swear it was an earthquake. I told her, jam, little lady, just get on down. Everybody say jam, little lady, and make the roof of the house come down. That's right, jam, little lady, just get on down. Everybody say jam, little lady, and make the roof of the house come down. There's a party in the mother's house. That's when I'll be. There's a party. Good dog in the mother's house. Everybody gonna laugh at the party. We're gonna throw it down in the mother's house. Everybody say party. Good dog in the mother's house. Please now one more time. That's what I wanna do now. Pretty close. Dig this. I said the groove got quiet when the telephone rang and the mother picked up the line. It was a nosy old bat from across the street that yelled,
Are you out of your mind?
well, the mother got mean and she started to scream and said,
Woman, I'm in showbiz.
that's right.
And if you ring my phone just one more time, I'm going to show you what time it is. Everybody,
Oh, jam! Little lady, just get on down.
everybody,
Jam! Little lady, make the roof of the house come down. That's right. Jam! Little lady, just get on down. Everybody say jam.
Everybody say, jam, little lady, little lady, little lady.
Just get on
I want you to just jam. A little lady. Let your bad self.
just get on
Go on and get on down. A little lady.
just get on
Everybody say, jam. A little lady. Now do it.
just get on
Everybody jam. Gotta jam, gotta jam, gotta jam, little lady.
just get on
Get your bad self. Jam. A little lady. Here we go. Take me to the bridge, everybody. That's it, y'all. We got to split now. Say what now? Ow, ow.
That's the mother, the one and only Betty J. Green. The one and only Betty J. Green. Want to take a second and say this is her granddaughter, Danielle, who's in from California to visit grandma for this special night. Her other daughter, Vonnie, had an operation and couldn't be with us tonight, but she's here in spirit. Also, her father is here with us. Betty's father is here with us. And assistant manager of the band. All right. Come on, Mr. Lancaster. All right. And then we got to say a special to Mr. Horace Brock. We're getting ready to funk it up a little bit. Because the mother, how you feel, mother?
Fine. Mother feels fine.
Ready to pump it up a little bit?
I'm ready to pump it up.
All right. Here we go. Achika, 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 achika.
This foxy lady strutting down the avenue. I caught the urge to meet her, but I knew not what to do. Now I didn't want to blow my chance by sounding like a fool, because she looks so sweet. My Lord, the way she filled them jeans. Look at when it makes her body moves and shivers up my spine. Those big brown eyes and that gorgeous smile is always on my mind. I gotta think of something cool to say to make the little lady look my way. How I wish my sugar bowl could hold sweet Georgia Brown. Now look here, the way she makes her body moves and shivers up my spine. Those big brown eyes and that gorgeous smile is always on my mind. And I can't seem to keep control when she goes passing by, because she looks so sweet. My Lord, I wish she hollered at me. Hey, look here. My Georgia kisses me, it's like cardiac caress. Now you don't have to tell her, cause she knows that she's the best. Look here, she really makes my rivers flow. I gotta let somebody know how I wish my sugar bowl could hold sweet Georgia. But look here, and when I die, won't you bury me deep with a photograph of Georgia at my feet, so I can see the pearly gates with a smile on my face and a picture of my honey just to show I had taste. Tell St. Peter that he left a little angel in the city that I came from. I have mercy. Oh, I wish I had a girl up with me now. Gabriel, won't you blow your horn? Don't it blow? Not fake, but there's something about me Jackson that I can't take. But I ain't never met a honey that look like you, with your hair so perfect and skin so smooth. And you can walk into a crowd, you can knock them dead. And I don't believe the stuff I just said. Baby, you got to understand that I only want to be your man. This is what she told me. I never make time for guys like you, but I had to pay attention because I think you're kind of cute. I can take you away up into my den, and I guarantee the world will never see you again. She took me up into her place. You should have seen my excited face when
she showed me how she got the name Sweet Georgia Brown. Check it out. Just don't believe it. Surely hard to believe, but I'm here and I'm living proof that I am back. I'm right now, so I'm right back in love again. Oh yeah, set for me. Back in love again.
The next song that Mother had that opportunity was a song by the great Michael Jackson and his family of brothers. A song called Shake You Down. Shake your body down to the ground. And then Mother came back with a song that was a big hit in the 1960s. And Mother took it and made her own version of it. The original was out of Houston, Texas. But the second one was a nice one, the hot one, the one out of Southeast Washington, D.C. And it's called Tighten Up with the Mother.
1, 2, 3.
Well, say hello to everybody. We're the Mother's Band out of Southeast Washington, D.C. And we've got a new thing for you. A funky new dance called the Tighten Up. We want you to get to it. We're gonna show you how to do it right now.
Tighten up.
Yeah.
Do tighten up.
Everybody.
Do tighten up.
It's time to tighten up.
Do tighten up.
And when you feel it,
Do tighten up.
you know you just can't get enough. You gotta tighten up.
Do tighten up.
Hey, you got to tighten up.
Do tighten up.
Everybody tighten up.
Do tighten up.
Come along and tighten up.
Do tighten
Gonna
up.
tighten up on those drums. Come on. Tighten up on those drums with Mr. Ed Anderson. Now we're gonna tighten up on the bass guitar with my mother. Come on, mother, tighten up on those drums. The bass, come on, give me the bass. Hey, Now, Calvin, I want you to tighten up on that guitar a little bit. Come on, tighten up now.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Let's go, y'all.
Hey, hey, we got to go, y'all.
Let's go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Let's go, y'all.
One more time, we got to go, y'all.
Let's go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Let's go, y'all.
Hey, 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 we got to go, y'all.
Let's go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Let's go, y'all.
The mother says goodbye, she's gonna pack up her bass, so yeah. The band's gotta go, we gotta come off the stage. The thing behind this band is to reach out a helping hand. And the mother works hard to develop the master plan. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, the mother says goodbye, my friend. She really hates you right now. But she loves you still. We got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Hey, hey, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
One more time, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Let's go, y'all.
Hey, hey, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
I said clap your hands to the beat, y'all. Raise your hands and stomp your feet. Come on, clap your hands to the beat, y'all. Raise your hands and stomp your feet. Come on, clap your hands to the beat, y'all. Raise your hands and stomp your feet. Come on, clap your hands to the beat, y'all. Raise your hands and stomp your feet. Come on, clap your hands to the beat, y'all. Raise your hands and stomp your feet. Come on, clap your hands to the beat, y'all. Raise your hands and stomp your feet. We got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Hey, hey, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
One more time, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Hey, hey, we got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Get on up, we got to go. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. The mother said goodbye, my friend.
Really hates me, yeah.
She really hates to leave right now.
That's got to go, baby.
But she loves you still.
Mother's got to go. Mother's got to go. Mother's got to go.
We got to go, y'all. 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 We got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
We got to go, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Hey, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. She really hates to be right now.
Really hates me, yeah.
The mother said